Hello, greetings everyone, esteemed audience, honored guests and judges. I hope everybody's doing well and having such a wonderful time. Today, my name is Kenza, and today I stand before you to talk about and celebrate one of the most precious things ever, a gift from humanity to us, and something that makes our world truly special and unique. But before I reveal to you what is it, I would like you to imagine with me something. Imagine with me a world where every single flower in a garden had the same color and size or shape. A world where everything was exactly identical and similar. Imagine with me a world where you eat the same food every day and listen to the same song on repeat. How would it be? It would be a very boring and dull and lifeless world, right? But thankfully that's not the case for our world. Our world is vibrant, diverse, and colorful. And that's all thanks to one thing, and it's diversity. And that's exactly what I am going to be talking about today in my public speaking. So, as a starter, we need to know what is diversity. Diversity is basically the differences within a group of people, a small one, or a community, a bigger one, or a whole society, it doesn't matter. As long as it's the differences within their race, their ethnicity, their origins, and their religion, traditions, and cultures. Also the differences in their opinions and perspectives, the way they perceive things and see them. Yeah, now we have spoken about all of the positive things about diversity and how much it forms humanity. Because diversity is a characteristic of humanity. Without it, we wouldn't be humans and our world would be totally different. So, what we can say about it is that despite all of the positive things that we have just said, unfortunately and throughout history and even now still, people still tend to judge anybody who's slightly different from them. We judge people, we misunderstand them, and we literally fear them. So why do we fear these people who are different if it's a positive thing? If we talk about this, we need to know that judging is something deeply rooted in human psychology. It's something natural that we do. Maybe it's because of our ancestors, because years ago, our ancestors used to fear anybody who was different from them, because long ago the world was different. People used to live in small groups and everybody knew everybody else. So basically, they never accepted anybody who was different or who spoke a different language or anything, just because they think that he might bring some danger to them. So he might bring some danger to them or anything like that. So they used to fight them or tend to be aggressive with them. But that's not the case for us anymore. Now we live in a very deeply connected and modern world. Everybody knows everybody now. And this is not an excuse anymore for us to judge people who are different from us. Another thing is that logically for us, our brain works in a way of whenever we meet someone who is different from us, we feel suspicion or discomfort. Not for everyone, of course, but I'm talking about the majority of people. This is a natural process, but it doesn't give us the right to judge anybody. So the good news are that although our mind works that way, we can change it. We can convince our mind, it can convince itself to think differently and change the whole thing. So the good news are that we can change this and we are capable, we have the power to change the whole perspective. So how can we? First of all, and the first step for anything, to solve any problem, is awareness. We need to be aware of that. The judging of people who are slightly different is something that is bad and negative. We need to be aware of our differences and other people's differences. And we should actually try to learn more about people's cultures and see the world from different views and opinions, hear other people's opinions and put ourselves in their shoes and see the world through people's eyes. That's one of the solutions. Another thing is empathy. We need to have more empathy towards others, because empathy is something that helps us to be more kind-hearted towards people, to understand people more and become more understanding to them. And it's something that can really help us to understand their differences and to respect them. Another thing is the media influence. Social media is really something that has made us blocked on some specific ideas and standards. It really blocks diversity. Social media shows you some specific videos or reels that are based on some specific standards, and they show you some specific way to look or to behave or to talk, and you start thinking that this is the way I should look like, this is how I should look like, and this is how I should act, and this is the only right way. So you start judging anybody else who is slightly different. For example, I will give you an example to make you closer to my idea, is that lately here at school, in 2 sessions, in French session and English session, we were watching documentaries about different people, and they were speaking their own language. It was a Native American woman and a Filipinian man who were speaking their mother language. And basically what I've noticed is that the students started laughing at them just because they were speaking their own language. So I didn't laugh because I just thought that it was something really silly. Why would we laugh at someone just because they are speaking their own language? We have our own language too. They are different from us, right? But don't you think that these differences is the thing that makes them more unique? It makes them stand out. Instead of laughing at them because you think that their language is weird, you should actually think that it's really something special. You don't speak that language, but they do. And it's something that makes them stand out and look more unique. I personally think that we need to stop really judging others based on some superficial things, despite their talents and abilities and what they can actually give to humanity, and how can they help us, and how can they be friendly. So in conclusion, and as in closing, let us remember that diversity is not a challenge to manage, but it's actually a gift to be celebrated by people. Let us all recognize that our differences is something to be proud of, and let us all build a world and a future where everybody feels valued and included and respected. Thank you so much for that.